All right, so for our game, we're going to create something that's very tangible, like you can hold it in your hands, like it's a real act of creation, kind of like an art project, but it doesn't have to be like fancy or formal at all, just low key. But this act of making something, creating something, and this thing is going to be like a talisman. That's a term that like native people have used. But it's like a representative of you. And maybe it's because it's got these things in it that are all things you're fond of, or maybe it's like things that genuinely represent you. Or maybe it's something that's just like awesome that you like, that you want to carry around with you all the time, that fits easily, but something that's essence is so representative of you that it's almost like merging. You would let it be your symbol or representative. It would fuse in with you, so to speak, to where it's like, here is me in this like form that's tangible and not my usual form. This is me somehow. It's just like a representative thing. And the reason, we could say like, okay, an art project, like huge. The reason why I'm using talisman or something that you could carry around is because I kind of want you to keep it small, where it could be like close to you, because this could get big. It's like really like a whole theater set or a whole, collage or something that represents you. No, not, try to keep it like, if you love art and you love this idea, then great, go for it. But try to keep it like manageable to where it's just easy and doable, not over the top. If you want to get crazy with the creativity and that's part of the joy and the fun, great. But for the minimum, just a little something. What would be a handheld kind of representation of you? What would be something that you could carry in your pocket that would represent you? Because when you put limits on it like that, it really makes you think harder. And yes, put it together. Think about it. Maybe it's a found item or a collection of things, or maybe it's like a rock, but you want to add some etchings or, something that's painted, or you want to glue some feathers on it, so it can have a creative element. It's got a creative element in it anyway, because you are creatively thinking, what would be you? If you were something that can be held in a hand, what would be the perfect representative, like your signature, your calling card, your name, but instead of a verbal name, there it is in the form of something you could hold, your talisman. What would it be? And like I said, put some, not just thought in it, but a little bit of hands-on work in it too. Don't just like find the nearest stone and be like, well, cool. I found a rock. It was in my driveway and it's kind of white and I like white crystals. So cool. This is it. A little bit more, right? Because if this is supposed to be the representative of you, you might need to tweak or change that. This rock may be absolutely the first step in the process, but like what else? What else might be a part of this talisman if this was your signature, your essence, your representative? What would you allow to represent you? What would feel good? Even if it makes no sense, like why in the world would it be whatever, some feather, or I don't know, why would it be some picture of a fox or some little drawing of purple flowers? Like, this has nothing to do with me. I'm not even a super girly person that loves flowery things or that likes bright colors. I don't even like purple, but like somehow that feels right. Like, why? Or just don't give yourself a why. Don't care about the why. Just see about this process. It's kind of interesting and cool to then step back after you've gotten into the feel of it and like, okay, I'm satisfied with this. This is what I've come up with. This is my art project. This is my representative. This is my thing in my hand that represents me. And then sort of step back from it and see you. represented in this form, and like, huh, so I'm, a glittery fox, or so I'm a rock with a bunch of mud smeared on it, or, so I'm a bunch of wadded up paper, in some sort of strange configuration with like sticks and wires glued out the sides, like, whatever you make that you put together that ends up feeling like a representative, it's interesting to step back and to look at it from the outside. Sometimes we don't even do that with ourselves and like look at we don't really get to. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, is to sort of turn and step outside of yourself and look in at yourself and kind of marvel at like, so I'm this, so this is me. But when we do something like this and we make this little creative, representative, then it lets us. But also don't take it too seriously. It's also just a creative, fun project, like an art thing, gets you moving with your hands, gets you like tangibly creating things while thinking about yourself and feeling into yourself. And it's just pleasurable. I mean, it may be a long time since you've actually just done something wacky and creative like little kids do, where they, find little items and glue them together with others, or, create some sort of art project where you have to make a representative, poetic kind of something, creation. And that's just fun stuff that grounds you and makes you feel like, there is wonder and joy and fun and aliveness in the world. So see how you like it.